So, okay, folks, I'm going to take a bite at this. After listening to a lot of comments about Closerscopy, about the confusion people are having about how to use Closerscopy, I realized that there's a strong misunderstanding about the power behind Closerscopy. One way to put this is, if all the other AI tools in the market were likened to a sword, Closerscopy is a surgeon's scapula. In other words, Closerscopy can allow you to dive deep into the process of content writing in a way that becomes detailed and intricate, which also perhaps is what makes Closerscopy quite complicated to use and maybe confusing sometimes. In other words, there is no limit to what you can do with Closerscopy when compared with what other tools give you. And I'll kind of show you what I mean here. So I've just been looking at some of the new comers into the market that a lot of people have been raving about. So we've got here, I'm not going to mention their names so far. You perhaps can see their name on here, but I'm not going to mention their names outright, right? So this one says it allows you to do Facebook ads, Google search ads, LinkedIn ads, Twitter ads, Instagram caption, all these things here. Closerscopy can allow you to do it very easily too. And then looking at the pricing structure, and this is the bit that catches me all the time. They are all giving you a certain amount of words of credits per month. So here you say 20,000 word credits per month. That sounds like a big amount. 20,000 word credits. With Closerscopy, it is unlimited. You don't have any limitation to the credits per month. And once you buy into the lifetime, yeah, you are not limited by credits, any kind of credit. So you are not scared about running out of credit. Yeah. So it says here 100 plus AI writing tools. With Closerscopy, you've got an unlimited number of AI writing tools once you know how to use it properly. In other words, Nico, the creator of Closerscopy, has not shackled you to a limited number of tools that he thinks you need. He's giving you the ability to create the tools you need without having a knowledge of coding. You don't have to do any kind of coding. Yeah, you may have to use some maybe hashed 3 hashes and some brackets. That's all. Outside that, you don't have to have any idea of any kind of coding. And the amount of AI writing tools that is available to you is unlimited. It's actually limited just by your imagination. And that's huge. That's huge. It's one of the reasons why people wonder why I'm so vibrant and I'm so loud about Closerscopy. When you recognize what power you have in your hands with Closerscopy, you realize that nothing else, at the moment anyway, nothing else can touch Closerscopy. So it says here, 200 plus data-driven copywriting tools. What does that mean? Perhaps means data that's collected through research on the market, right? The irony here is that with Closerscopy, you can do market research with the information. I've done market research for a sales page that sold right off the bat without having to talk to anybody. So market researched a particular group of people and a niche, created my frameworks to sort of capture the thoughts and thinking system, the emotions of a group of people, and be able to write a sales page just to target them. And right off the bat, it sells. It's still selling to today. Yes, it might still need a little bit more optimization to make it super effective, but right off the bat, it's selling. And the point here is that you have an unlimited number of data-driven copywriting tools. That's the point I want to make here, right? Blog post wizards for Closerscopy can do that way more. You can you can create your own wizards with Closerscopy. That's my point here. You create your own wizards for the different tools. You can create your own wizards for blog posts. You can create your own wizards for email sales letters. You can create your own wizard for sales pages. You can create your own wizard. Closerscopy may not come out to say, oh, they've got these things available, but with the tools that Nico has given you, once you understand them and understand how to use them, you start to realize you can create a lot of different things, especially with the frameworks. I know a lot of people bash the frameworks, but there's a framework that give you the ability to write and create any kind of content using AI. You could create researching tools. You could create writing tools. You could create anything a copywriter needs to use in their experience of writing and collecting data. Closerscopy can definitely help in so many of these areas. So here we've got improving your scores and boosting your scores. And I think that's talking about SEO. With SEO tools, the SEO tools that Closerscopy has, it actually enables you to be in charge of how the SEO tool analyzes or assesses the outcomes. And in other words, it's a bit counterintuitive, where every SEO tool you go and use will have a specific way they've decided this is how you can analyze the best outcome, and they work, right? And the thing is, the Closerscopy's SEO tool also work for the way Nico has made it to be user driven. So you drive how the SEO tool works for your content. Hope that makes sense. So I go to all of these things. Blog posts, generated 1,000-word blog post from just one click. This one is a danger here, right? It's nice to think of the idea of being able to just go put a title in and click and get a whole blog post, maybe 1,000 words, 2,000 word blog post from one click. But there's a bit of a danger there, in that if you rely on your AIs, at least at this stage, to create the blog posts, all of it with one click, there will be some telltale signs in the content that it's AI written. And why is that dangerous? Eventually, a lot of the search engines will be able to tell and may start to downgrade you. And I think Google has started to do that already. To start to pull down the rankings of sites where they're recognizing a pattern. Why am I saying this? Now, when you look at AI generated pictures, I mean, they're getting a lot better, but a lot of them still has certain quirks. Let me just see if I can pull up anyone here. A lot of them still have certain quirks, because you can look at a picture and almost tell whether it's AI written when you compare it with another person's, an artist painting, or even a picture, a photorealistic picture. You can almost tell it's AI drawn, because there's something not quite right here. Now, and that's for pictures, because we can see it clearly. With the written content, humans may not be able to see clearly the telltale patterns, which Google would definitely see. Google would definitely see. And I was just having this conversation in our recently formed CC Framework Mastery Challenge group. I'll tell you a little bit about it later. Because we're just talking about what is it about Closerscopy that makes it hard for people to use. And what we've recognized is that the framework is such a surgical tool. The creating frameworks is such a surgical tool, and that's perhaps is what makes it hugely complex. But then the complexity of this process of using frameworks to create tools is also what makes Closerscopy stand out above the rest, because it enables us to bake our individualities into our frameworks. So when we bake our individualities into our frameworks and then we generate content from that, it's a lot more human-like. Unlike what happens with other tools. So to add to that, if you allow yourself to interfere with that process of the creation of the content, where you create a little bit, you check it, you create something else from somewhere, and you stitch things together, you work through, it's going to be impossible for Google to say, oh, that is written by AI, because there will be no predictable pattern going through all the different contents you write. There will be differences enough to tell that it's a human that's written this. And so with that alone, I've actually started hearing rumors that, especially if you know the powerful AI writer Jasper, which I felt was a major contender with Closerscopy, I've started hearing rumors that some of their folks there are saying 80% of their sites have been pulled down in rankings by Google with the new algorithm changes that Google brought out recently. So what's this suggesting? Closerscopy is still standing out on top. And yes, it's this complexity that the frameworks create that perhaps makes it hard for some people to really benefit from Closerscopy. I'd like to encourage you, do not give up, because the frameworks, I believe, is a superpower for Closerscopy. And the more you understand the frameworks, the more you realize it can give you so much freedom in your business. So take the time to try and learn it. I know, like I said earlier on, that we've started gathering interest for a challenge for anyone who wants to master the frameworks to kind of go beyond of just the basics of framework usage, to see how the frameworks can either free you up in a lot of ways and save you a lot of time, or see how the frameworks can help you create superb content that ranks and still stays in high rankings despite whatever changes Google makes. And actually, just to mention that, those people saying that their sites are now dropping, the irony is that I made a mistake years ago to use some black hat methods on my website, and Google just pulled my site down. And for years and years, almost 10 years, been struggling with it, right? But since I've been using Closerscopy's frameworks to write my content, I've noticed that Google has started to pull my pages back up. They're gradually rising. Some of my pages that they were nowhere to be seen before, they're now in page 4, some of them in page 2, some of them in page 1. So I'm actually going the other way, and from I believe my site was blacklisted. Nobody really told me that, but I just couldn't get any traction with traffic at all for years. Yeah, but this year I'm beginning to get the traction. actually, what I did, and I know some people say I shouldn't do that. I just pulled off all the pages that I had written. I started all over again, to just try and have a clean slate. I'm still going to use the content that I wrote before and try and rewrite them later on. But my point is that Google has now gradually started to honor my site. Although I'm using CC frameworks AI as a supported content, so it's not fully AI written. The AI will fully write it for you if you want to do that. Or I will still advise against that. I will encourage that you interact with the AI. Okay, so for anyone who's interested in joining us in this challenge, we're trying to raise up to 100 people. If we can get 100 people interested, then we will run the 5-day framework mastery challenge. So don't let these kinds of figures fool you. 100,000 characters a month. With Closerscopy, you got unlimited characters a month. 70 plus AI assistants. Closerscopy, you got unlimited assistants, AI assistants, because these AI assistants, they are probably those modules. Actually, maybe I should show you some of those type of modules that I'm talking about here. So this is one of the tools I purchased in the earlier days before I came into Closerscopy. And for what it does, it's okay. So most tools will provide you with these kind of things, where you just click on it, create a project, and maybe give a headline. The thing is, Closerscopy gives you the ability to create all these types of tools for yourself. So you're not limited to this what the person thinks you need. Now, if you are someone who you don't want to kind of mess about with too many things, you might decide, okay, you just come into these kind of tools and click on this and create your content. You don't necessarily need it to go in depth. You're happy for it to be generic. You're happy for it to not be so how do I put it? Human-like. Yeah, yes, AI would write things that are human-like, but there's a degree to that human-likeness, if I can say it. Closerscopy will get you closer to being writing stuff that looks more human than all the other AI tools that are out there. So if you're interested in our work, joining our challenge, there's going to be a link below in this video. Now, if you have any questions at all around Closerscopy, I'm happy to answer. You can message me in Facebook as well. You can private message me in Facebook. I'm happy to answer any questions you have. A lot of people have already been messaging me, and I believe also that if we are vocal about the areas we struggle with, where we're struggling with Closerscopy, Nico is such that he is happy to listens, and he adjusts the program based on what we are saying. So talk about where you're struggling. Talk about whether there's a UI issue, the interface issue that makes it hard to use. If that's where the problem is, why is that a struggle? I mean, for me, I just look at the tool here, and it looks very clean, and maybe that cleanness makes other people struggle. But all these tools here, so for example, the Launchpad allows you to actually collect a number of your types of tools you want to use in a way that perhaps looks very much similar to what I showed you here. So these are things people have pre-created for you. They decided that this is what you need and this is what you can only access. Whereas with Closerscopy, I created these tools myself. I'm not the long form. The long form gives you access to other things you can do. which almost seems similar to what other people have in their tools. Whereas for me, the frameworks. Just this week, I decided I wanted to create content or headlines or phrases that generate curiosity. So I decided to go and study about how to make people more curious in your content. And so when I studied this, I came across a number of sites, a number of books that gave examples. So now I took those examples and I came into Closerscopy to generate my own curiosity type framework. And this gave me, there was no limitation to how I was to do this. I just had the freedom to decide, okay, I want to create this. Let me come and create it. I don't know if that makes sense, how massive that is, right? So I'll stop jabbering on now. Well, you guys can tell how that I'm quite passionate about Closerscopy, and I'm quite passionate about the support and constant improvement I see Nico pour into this tool. So I'm wishing you all that you'll be able to see the immense power behind Closerscopy that I can see, and I'm wishing that you'll be able to see to access the power, because when you compare with other tools, it's like Closerscopy is a machine gun, and other tools, they're just like a pea shooter. I don't know if that analogy works, but you get my drift. So wishing you all the best. Bye.